What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with old nasty recap, honey, of the basketball bullies, honey. This is season 9, and I will have the episode, you guys, in the description. All I got to say is they are really trying it. They are really going out of their way, you guys, to make OG look bad. She looked horrible on this episode when it comes down to Jennifer, the Nia and Noria girl. You know, both of them are sick of OG and her shit. Jackie getting sick of OG, you know, and her negative energy. We go get to it, honey. We have a lot to unpack, honey. It's just crazy. But yeah, I really, you guys, I see what the hell they trying to do. They are really trying to make some people look good and innocent, like Evelyn and, you know, Shawnee, and then let's make OG look horrible and, you know, let's gaslight her even more. And child, they really need to quit. They really do. But without further ado, let's get to this recap. So we have Malaysia and Jackie. They pretty much patch up their issues. Jackie and Malaysia are the two stars of Basketball Wives LA. And they've been tight for years. We all know Jackie loves and adores Malaysia. She loves Malaysia's dirty draws, okay? She wants to sleep with Malaysia, okay? Jackie loves her some Malaysia. Malaysia loves Jackie. We saw a lot of that. What was that, season 6, where Malaysia was by Jackie's side when Evelyn was accusing Jackie of being a colorist. I remember, towards her daughter, Takari. So it's sad that these two allowed Evelyn, because it was Evelyn that lit that match. It was Evelyn. If you go back to the clips that they showed, it was Evelyn that told Malaysia Jackie is the one that was telling people these nasty things about her children, saying that they were dirty and unkempt, and Malaysia is broke and had to move out of her house. And you know, it was Evelyn that threw Jackie under the bus, because wasn't it some other guy that was really... It was some other guy that was telling Jackie these things about Malaysia. And yes, Jackie could have went and talked to Malaysia, but I think she ran it by the girls first. And that's what a lot of these women on this show do. But see, it's a problem when Jackie does it. Let's blame Jackie. That has been the common denominator since I've been watching Basketball Wives. Especially with the LA cast. That's all they used to do. Everything was blame Jackie. Jackie got to try to be friends with them again. You know, it was all that BS. So, yeah, it's sad that they allow Evelyn to like that match. They allow Evelyn to just get away with everything, I notice, on this show. And it's not just Shawnee. It's not just Shawnee. Jackie and Malaysia, they plays, you know, right into it as well. Okay, and so does the other girls. Everybody wants to be up Evelyn's ass. That's what I see. But yeah, they end up patching up their relationship. Jackie gets to crying, telling Malaysia she missed her so much. Malaysia says she was hurt by, you know, the things that Jackie was putting out there about her kids behind her back, and she cried as well. They hugged it out. Then Malaysia said, you ready to rub on my booty? And I was like, oh shit, what is going on? You know, Jackie loves it when Malaysia twerks and stuff on her. She loved Malaysia's ass and shit. So I was like, y'all have at it. I'm glad y'all are back. But stop letting people get in the middle of y'all relationship. Do you think Shawnee and Evelyn is going to allow y'all to get in between their relationship? No. So why would you let them do that, you know, to y'all? That was very irritating to me. And it was Malaysia's fault. Like Jackie said, you know, you didn't even come and have a conversation with me. As soon as I came up in the skating ring, you know, you was accusing me of spreading these rumors about your kids. So you didn't have a proper conversation with me. Malaysia let Evelyn get her all worked up, crying and panting and sweating and shit. You know, it was a mess. So I'm glad they worked it out. So next we see Nia and Noria. They're having a conversation with Shawnee. They get to telling Shawnee how OG cooked a really nice dinner the night before, and she opened up to them about the colorism that she feels that takes place in this group. And they also tell Shawnee that OG was crying about the racism she experienced as a child. So my thing with it, because I done watched it a few times, the girl, I think her name is Nia, she was kind of doing most of the talking. She's telling Shawnee, OG has these issues as far as racism and colorism, from childhood. See, it makes it look like it's just a childhood thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I know what she meant. But see, now that's, how it looks. And Shawnee and Evelyn, they will gaslight the hell out of this situation. That way they don't have to take responsibility and accountability. But anyway, Shawnee gets up in her confessional. It seems like OG has had these walls up, for a while now. And she had walls up when it came to us because you never accepted her. You got your bestie calling her ugly. You got Phoebe calling her ugly. You got Kristen making it look like OG's man don't want her. OG could never get married, because that's what Kristen was saying when she kept on saying, I have a husband and I have a child. Like, what the hell does that mean? Anybody can get that. So they all have been very shady and nasty, towards OG. And I feel like if OG has ever said anything back, she's simply defending herself. If you go around people, you guys, and you always feel like you're on the defense and, you will come off as aggressive. Are you kidding me? You will come off as angry and bitter because you always have to be in that mode because you don't know what a person is going to say about you next. You don't know, and it's all of them against her. And it's not like any of her friends really be like having her back, so. And Shawnee is full of shit because, Shawnee, according to OG, never really wanted to, get to know her because remember I played y'all something where OG has said, Shawnee said to the girls, because they was trying to get her to meet OG for the first time. Shawnee said, well, we could just act like we met her and stuff like that. You never gave that girl a chance. So Shawnee, girl, bye. Shawnee gets to telling Nia and Noria that the things that OG is saying about her and Evelyn is very damaging, calling Shawnee a colorist and Evelyn a racist. Shit, you are what you are, shit. And like OG said in this episode, none of you all like the backlash that you receive. And now that your check is on the motherfucking line, now you want to address things, okay? And I like what the girl Nia said in her confessional. She said maybe if you all would get to know her, you would soften up a bit and understand where she's coming from and her experiences with racism and colorism. But child, they ain't trying to understand where OG is coming from, honey, okay? Did y'all catch Shawnee when she tells Nia and Noria, oh, I've always caught OG in a space of when she's arguing with somebody. And do y'all notice how they kept playing that clip, right, of OG? I don't think they played it on last night's episode, but they played it in these other episodes. They kept playing that clip where OG was aggressive and like all up in Kristen's face. And do you see what I'm saying? They're very like one-sided with this editing. And it's almost as if, none of us is going to figure it out. But bitch, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. Okay, I see what y'all trying to do. Y'all are really trying to sell this narrative that OG is this angry, bitter, aggressive woman that feels she's unattractive and, she's upset everybody else feels she's unattractive. Y'all trying to turn it into that. Girl, bye, Shawnee. Okay? Shawnee tells Nia Noria she's ready to understand OG, but OG has to reciprocate. There has to be some concessions. She got to understand where I'm coming from, and then I can understand where she coming from. You ain't trying to understand where she's coming from, because if you and Evelyn was serious about understanding where OG was coming from, y'all would be meeting with her instead of sending down Malaysia and Kristen, okay, to do your job. So next, honey, we see Jennifer and OG. OG has this cute little basketball purse. She's putting stones and stuff all over it. We hear Jennifer, she's kind of admiring what OG is doing. And, OG got to telling her, I'm really into arts and crafts, since we got this pandemic going on and, I'm stuck in a house and stuff. So, Jennifer's listening to her say that. So then Jennifer gets to opening up about, being scammed by the guy in this new documentary, that she's going to have about him and how he scammed her. He's an ex-boyfriend of hers. And y'all know it turns out they talking about the man is bisexual and shit. I was like, oh shit, Jennifer, you sure do know how to pick him out, girl. Ooh. But, she went through a lot with the guy. So she's trying to relay this to OG, and it just looks like OG don't give a damn. She's steady putting the stones on the basketball. After Jennifer says what she says about the guy, you would think OG would be like, girl, that's messed up. How your documentary going? You think she would say something like that. Nope, just, oh, look at my ball. Look at how it looks. Jennifer is just looking at her like, bitch, did you hear anything I said? Jennifer gets in her confessional and says that all OG wants to talk about is OG, and it looks like that. That's how it looks. But we gotta keep in mind what we are watching. We watching the basketball bullies. And if I know Evelyn and Shawnee the way that I do, I know they didn't probably edited this scene down, honey. Okay. Now we're beginning to see the beginnings of why Jennifer and OG are at odds now. Okay. Because this edit of OG, I'm going to keep telling you guys, it looks horrible. Okay, it looks like she can't get along with anybody. It looks like she's the problem. And when you get to the end of the damn episode, you go hear Malaysia. And I'm thinking maybe that was for next week's episode. I forgot. I know I saw a clip. But Malaysia gets to telling Shawnee and Evelyn, well, if you getting into it with the new girls and stuff, then it has to be you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like more gaslighting, more child. I need to see the original episode. Okay. Cause this can't be it. This does not even seem, like OG's character to be acting like this. But yeah, it makes her look horrible. So Malaysia and Jackie join Evelyn, Shawnee, and Kristen. And Liza, she's there too. I keep forgetting about that damn Liza, honey. But yeah, Malaysia tells them that her and Jackie, they're going to go their separate ways. She's joking around, but she lets them know that her and Jackie made up. Shawnee and Evelyn look happy, that they have made up in their friendship. And next we see Nia Noria. They're basically telling Shawnee about themselves, how one of them is married, and I believe they both have children, but Nia says that she's single. And she gets into saying that, she used to date a man named Lance Stevenson, which is Phoebe's ex. So they discover that and make a big powwow about that. So Nia and Noria, they get to asking about Phoebe, and is she going to be coming to one of the houses? And Evelyn lets them know that she is quarantining. Her tests are negative and her kids' COVID tests are negative, but, she goes stay behind for right now. Then they lead on to the fact that, their father recently passed from COVID, and they both began crying. Evelyn shows them some sympathy and begins hugging them. But see, I see what's going on, okay? Miss Robinson ain't no damn fool. We're making Evelyn look all, human and sensitive and nice. Y'all remember at the beginning of the season, we got Evelyn paying for people's laundry to be washed and dry because she is this good Samaritan, honey. I see what y'all are trying to do, and Miss Robinson, honey, is not fooled, okay? So Jackie, Nia, and Noria, they head back to Jackie's house. And then that's when Shawnee opens up to Evelyn, Malaysia, and Kristen and Liza about what the girls, Nia and Noria, said about OG and how she, struggled with racism coming up. Y'all remember what the teacher said to her, and they all, began feeling bad for the moment, of course, and for TV. So next, honey, we see Kristen, she all in her confessional talking about how she has dealt with colorism through the years. People saying, you're pretty to be a dark-skinned girl. And she's relating her experiences to OG. And like I said, there's really no comparison. I'm not trying to take away, you guys, from Kristen's experience. That very, much probably is her experience, right? She probably really did go through those things, but you are still, Kristen, acceptable compared to OG, okay? You still went out and got you a light-skinned man, and what is the baby light-skinned? So I'm just saying, okay? I don't know. I just got that she was trying to compare apples to me to oranges. You got to speak for yourself when it comes to that type of stuff. I just feel like you still ain't been on a show like this where people are calling you ugly and being really dismissive and nasty with you. You ain't went through the brunt of it like OG has. She's going through childhood things. You hear Liza saying, well, that's where it starts. And see, now they're trying to kind of gaslight it and make it look like, oh, well, OG has childhood history with racism and colorism. And, now she's trying to project it onto us. That way they can further get out of taking responsibility and accountability. And honey, I told y'all, Miss Robinson is too smart for all this shit, okay? So Kristen recommends that she and Malaysia should go talk to OG and have a different approach and just really try to get some understanding of where OG is coming from. Bitch, you had your chance. You weren't trying to understand her the first time, so ciao. Bye. Okay. Malaysia agrees with Kristen that they both need to pay OG a visit. That way they can see both sides. She can understand where they're coming from. They can understand where she's coming from and hopefully reach some type of resolution. So next we got Jackie and Nia and Noria. They're lounging around and, they done ordered some pizza. OG comes down. They let her know they done ordered pizza. Jennifer joins them as well. Jennifer asks Nia and Noria, how was their day over there talking with Shawnee and Evelyn and the rest of the girls. And, Nia and Noria said that it all went well. And then Nia began talking about, how they basically, told OG's story about her growing up with racism from the teacher, and OG, honey, got really pissed about that because she kind of can feel, where this is going. She's just like, she flipped out on them, okay? She was just like, I did not ask you guys to speak for me. You guys are new. You guys don't know these girls. See, once again, it makes OG look bad because we know Nia and Noria, they didn't mean, they didn't mean any harm, by trying to, bridge the gap between Shawnee and OG. They are walking into something blind. Like OG said, y'all don't really know them, right? But, they're harmless. they're just trying to help, basically. But OG Honey was very flippant, with them, and she didn't like that shit. She was like, hold up, don't do that no more, honey, okay? Nia Noria is looking all confused. See, it just further is going to make OG look bad, like she's difficult, can't get along with nobody, she's the problem. It was just a train wreck. Jackie also lets Jennifer know that everything went good with Malaysia. They're back to being friends. Jennifer says she's happy to hear that because she knows that Malaysia and Jackie have been close for years. And another thing about Nia speaking on behalf of OG, I hated how she put it, because she kind of put it to OG in a way of, oh, well, we told Shawnee about what happened to you as a child growing up and what that racist teacher said to you. And now she's interested in getting to know you. Like, huh? What? Why does it take something bad from somebody's past for you to understand where they're coming from? Why does that now make you... I think with OG, she got upset because it kind of makes her look like, woe is me, I'm some victim that's helpless and everybody needs to feel sorry for me. And, it's kind of with that connotation attached to it. And that's what really, I think, pissed off OG. She wants Shawnee and Evelyn to understand her experience because it's her experience, and it feels horrible for her to have to go through that, being called ugly in this group, being disrespected, being segregated at the reunion, and she has had to go through a lot of horrible treatment, you guys, on this show. So I see why she reacted, the way that she did, but it still makes her look bad. It does, the way that they edited all of this. So we see the girl Nia, she gets in her confessional and she begins mocking OG, and she feels like she didn't like OG's tone with her. See, I told y'all, what did I tell y'all? It just makes OG look bad, okay? It makes her look bad. Because now, these new girls, they don't like her. The old girls don't like her. It just makes her look difficult. So, yeah. Nia and Noria, they're not feeling OG. And also, y'all get down in the comments and let me know, how did you feel about how OG spoke to Nia and Noria? Did you feel like she was being condescending and talking down to them like they were children? You guys let me know in the comments. Child, we see Jackie, OG, and the Nia and Noria girls and Jennifer, they're all doing a workout outside. Jackie says she's been very stressed from all the tension in the house with OG and the girls, and the best way to release that is sex. I'm like, child, I was just waiting on Jackie Christie to bring up some sex, honey, but she says since she can't do that, she will participate in this workout with the girls. So we hear OG saying to the girls, y'all better be paying attention to this class since I'm taking time out of my day to teach. Once again, that does not make OG look good. It looks like she's bossy, trying to be everybody's mother. Jennifer is sick of working out. Jennifer wants some water. OG said, not yet, not yet. Jennifer calls this place a boot camp. She said, oh, honey, I didn't know I was signed up for boot camp. And then OG was just like, I don't want to hear any more complaints from you. I don't want to hear, you complaining about your body not being tight and right. Jennifer was like, oh, I don't have that problem. Jennifer, you got a belly, okay? You look good, Jen, for your age. I give you that. You always, is a slim girl, but you got a belly on you, okay? It ain't as tight as it could be, honey, all right? At this point, honey, Jackie is just feeling the tension between Jen and OG, and she says it's making her really stressed, honey, okay? So they're done with the workout. We see Jackie, she tells Jen she wants to talk to her alone, and then we see OG and Nia and Noria, they go on in the house. OG is in there cooking some eggs for the girls, and, she's going to make some drinks for all of them as well. So we also see OG talking to the Nia Noria girls, basically telling them if there's anything in the future that you all want to speak on that involves me, run it by me first, because I did get heated really quickly when I heard what y'all told Shawnee about me. And the Nia girl says, well, today I like your delivery. Yesterday I didn't really care for your delivery. And OG was like, well, y'all understand where I'm coming from. Once again, OG does not look good, guys. Okay? She's coming off as bitchy, dismissive, it's not a good look. But they are really, for some reason, I don't feel like everything went down like this. I feel like we are missing some scenes, Shawnee is definitely in charge of the girls with how she's editing everything. So now we got the Noria girl all up in her confessional, calling OG loud, bossy. She always comes off as an authoritative figure. See, and that is how OG looks. I'm not gonna lie. I like OG, but this is not looking good. Okay, you don't want to give them this, OG, because what they're going to do is they're going to use all this footage against you. And, that way they don't have to hear, what you got to say as far as the colorism situation. They want you to just look like you some bitter bitch that can't get over the past. So hopefully you guys, she gets it together. But yeah, it's not looking good. So we see Jackie, she's talking to Jennifer. She was like, girl, the tension in this house has been too much for me. It's very stressful. This is not why I planned this trip for us girls. And, Jackie asked Jennifer, what is up with you? And Jen says, I just cannot be in this house anymore with OG. Her energy is just so bad. Like I keep telling y'all, it's not looking good. They are really trying it. Okay. It's not looking good. Not from what we're seeing anyways, right? So next, honey, we see Shawnee and Evelyn. They get to talking to Phoebe. And, they get to telling Phoebe she looks all glamorous and where is she going? Phoebe says, honey, she been in the house quarantining, COVID looks nasty, but she don't want to look nasty. She wants to look good. She wants to feel good. Phoebe does look a little bit better. Y'all get down in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about how Phoebe looks now. It looked like she done had some work done. Then Evelyn gets to telling her about the Nia girl and how she's there and she used to date Lance. And then Phoebe gets into this whole shebang about how Nia is a stalker and she created fake pages and was following Phoebe on Instagram and stalking her and sending her porns and saying, is this you? Are you in the porn? And all this crazy ass shit. I was like, I'm not reading crazy from the Nia girl. I could be wrong. I don't know nobody, but the Nia and Noria girl, they seem, pretty good, so, but yeah, she talking about that Nia girl, talking about she crazy, so, child, this shit is just so, I don't know, it just looks all cooked up, you guys, like, I don't know, it just looked like unnecessary drama that they need, Basketball bullies, honey, they always need petty drama like this. So I guess when Phoebe comes, she'll probably end up getting into it with the Nia girl over some nigga that neither one of them are with now. Okay, make it make sense. So next we see Nia, Noria, and OG. They're having breakfast with Jackie. So they're all eating and Jackie is calling for Jen to come out. Jackie says it's been a lot of tension in the house. She asks Nia and Noria, do they feel it? They said yes. And then Jackie says, I think there's an issue between OG and Jennifer. So she asks OG, did y'all have some type of issue? OG was like, no, not that I know of. Once again, it just looked like OG don't even give a damn. It's, she basically is like, oh, well, this is just how it is, And it, like I keep telling y'all, it just don't look good. It don't make her look good. You can't get along with nobody. Child, where is the real footage? Okay, so next we see Jackie. She begins making a comment to the Nia girl, about how Nia used to date Lance, and Phoebe is a part of the girls group, and she was like, you know what, I don't know. I think Jackie was saying it to her like, girl, you're not even tripping off of that. And, they got to talk about all the negative energy in the house, and you can feel it. We're all women. And, she basically giving the girl Nia props for not tripping over, the fact that Phoebe may be joining them, and Phoebe dated Lance. She dated Lance. So OG is like, well, what's going on? And then the girl Nia says, well, I used to date Lance Stevenson. And, but she was like, as far as Phoebe, I don't know her, and I want y'all to get to know me for me. And then OG makes a comment, says, she's sweeping it under the rug. Okay, we gonna let her do that, and the girl Nia, she kind of makes a face at OG, and she gets in her confessional and says, so OG has one set of rules for her and one set of rules for us, because she doesn't want us to speak her name. But she can, keep bringing up Phoebe to me, trying to start up all this drama about Lance. So once again, it doesn't make OG look good at all. Okay, it looked like she's messy. That's what the girl Nia called her, messy. All right. Once again, like I said, the girl Nia is in her confessional saying that she is starting to see that OG is an ass, and maybe Shawnee and Evelyn have a point about her. What did I tell y'all? That is the narrative that they are trying to spin. They are really trying to turn shit around. They're doing a good job. They really are, because OG looks horrible at this point. So Jennifer finally decides to join the girls. She has her mask on. They all looking at her crazy. She comes down to sit down, and, Jackie is just like, well, what's up with you? Why you got that mask on, Jennifer? Like, that way I don't say shit. She's sick of OG. She don't even feel like talking to her. Child, it's a mess. So next we see Malaysia and Kristen. They are talking about their upcoming conversation that they're going to have with OG. They're praying for a breakthrough. Malaysia feels like her and Kristen should be able to get through to OG. Child, so next we see Nia Noria. They're outside taking pictures, and then they end up talking about OG. Once again, what do I keep telling y'all? It does not look good for OG at all, okay? They get to talking about her tone and how she done spoke to them, and, they just feel like she's very stubborn. They feel like she is the common denominator, amongst all the girls that nobody can get along with. Like I said, this episode made OG look horrible. You got the new girls talking about her, the old girls don't like her, and I feel like this is kind of happening so we can kind of get out of this colorism thing and kind of just make it into, OG is just difficult and she's mean and nasty. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not in agreement with how OG act in this episode. But I do understand her frustration, with Nia and Noria speaking on her behalf, because they don't know Shawnee and the other girls, right? But her tone with them, it wasn't right either. I think she did better the second time she talked with them. So hopefully, you guys, we don't have a situation on our hands where the new girls don't like her. Nobody likes her, and it's bad. It's so funny though. So they're talking about OG, and then they look down. They was like, oh my God, I wonder if she could hear us. And then they was like, well, let's go. I was like, oh shit, y'all look kind of scared. So next we see the Nia Noria girls. They're outside playing some damn silly game, and we see OG kind of making drinks, and we see Malaysia and Kristen. They come in so they can have their talk with OG. Malaysia says she's a little nervous, honey, walking into the lion's den. So next we see Kristen she gets to talking to Jackie about her intentions for wanting to meet with OG, and she just wants to get some type of understanding, and Jackie is like, okay, that's good. And Kristen says, we really need to do this, that way we can all merge together as a group. You all are not going to be able to merge until Shawnee is off this show and Evelyn, okay? And then maybe you guys can possibly merge, but as long as those two are on there, it ain't gonna happen. So next we see Malaysia, she's sitting down with OG and basically telling her, well, maybe my approach at the reunion about, your issues with colorism with the group, maybe it wasn't the best and I want to try that again. It looks like, OG is willing to hear Malaysia out. So next we see Nia and Noria, whatever her damn name is, honey. They outside playing some game with Jennifer, and they asked Jennifer about OG's behavior when they brought up how, they relayed that message to Shawnee that OG struggled with racism as a child. And Jennifer basically said, she just doesn't want anybody to fight her battles, and, it's a sensitive situation. So we see Malaysia talking to OG saying, did I ever say anything colorist to you? I'm just trying to, get some understanding from, where you're coming from. That way I can correct my wrongs. So we see OG, she gets up and, Malaysia's still talking. OG starts crying, and then Malaysia's like, she's crying, So she ends up following OG and tries to, give her a hug, and, Malaysia and OG hug. I thought that was a good moment. So Jennifer, Nia, and Noria, they see that OG is crying. They can look into the house. Kristen says OG crying. That gives her hope that, they all can resolve their issues. We see OG in her confessional, and she's basically saying, I don't think these girls really get, how tired I am of being strong and constantly having to defend myself, constantly having to wear this armor. I think OG wants to be vulnerable, but she doesn't trust any of the girls. And, at this point, really, why should she? But once again, it looks like OG is being tough and not allowing them to, be vulnerable with her. Like I said, they really went out of their way to make her look bad, because it does look bad. It looks like you're having a vulnerable moment. They're trying to embrace you, and, you go back to having this strong and tough exterior. Even Jackie pointed that out. So Kristen says, this makes me want to feel like I can love on you. And bitch, you ain't come near to love on shit. Okay? You came there to save that check so y'all can save this tired ass show. Y'all ain't fooling nobody. I do feel like Malaysia is being genuine. I do. I feel like she's being genuine, but that's while she's over here with them. It'd be another thing. She'd get her ass back over there with Shawnee and Evelyn. So Malaysia asks OG, what can we do to move forward? And OG says, you guys have to start taking accountability, stop passing blame around, and I need people to stop telling me how to feel. We hear OG getting defensive again, saying that I feel like these conversations are now happening a year and a half later, because you guys don't like the backlash that you all have received from, social media and the viewing audience. And it is true. It is true. All of them received a lot of backlash. Everybody's check is on the line, and I'm with OG, when it comes to that. But once again, it makes her look bad, because it makes it look like, well, damn, it looked like y'all was getting ready to get somewhere because OG was vulnerable with Malaysia. They didn't hug. Now, OG is getting defensive again. So once again, she's gaslit to look crazy. OG says, honey, she stands firm on, her beliefs that there is colorism in this group. And we see Nia and Noria, and, making noise outside, I guess, with Jennifer. They was playing some game. The episode cuts off. So y'all get down in the comments, honey, and let Miss Robinson know what you felt about this gaslighting this gaslit ass episode. You know, it was very much so edited to make OG look bad. She looked horrible. Okay, it looked like she's being difficult. She can't get along with anybody. I think she's just angry, she's frustrated, and she's hurt, and she's sick of explaining herself to people that really don't care to listen, and they're only kind of doing it to now save their check, save their job, save their ass. So that's all I got to say, honey. Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.